Well, hey there everybody, welcome back into the basement as we take a quick look this weekend at what's, still growing on, what's left of my pepper collection as it were. Not really a whole lot of changes going on. I do have a couple of plants that I'm a little more concerned about this week than I was last. So let's get started. Yeah. Starting off by looking at my little seedling tray here. There are a couple of places in there that could potentially be seeds coming up, but I'm thinking they're probably that perlite. And I'm getting excited for nothing. Over here beside that we've got these two bits of basil that I started. Looks like the sweet basil is pulling the lead, but the purple basil there's definitely still more of it. And that's about it for next year's garden. I've got spider plant I'm trying to rescue back here. And of course we can see the cat trying to sneak down the stairs. I wasn't kidding when I say I can't be down here without some company. One second. You can be on the top set of stairs, that's fine, but you can't climb onto my plant tables, dude. Why don't you go attack the dog? No? Alright, then just stay there. Anyway, over here on the hydroponic garden, that's not technically in the hydroponics, but that's one of those black lace elderberry cuttings. Every winter it seems to die off and it comes back, and it hasn't really gotten much bigger, but it looks nice and bushy this year. Up here we've got a couple of catmint cuttings. Got to keep the cat interested. See if I can at least keep them growing. You'll notice this container is empty. I finally took the oregano out. That's over under the big purple light. Then we've got the last man standing among the hydroponic peppers. This is one of the variations on the Hydroponics. Actually, this looks like it's kind of getting that deficiency going on too. You see the yellowing around the edges of the leaves here. I don't know if that's just age or what, but over here under the LED, and it's not showing up very well on the camera, I don't think, but I've got the exact same thing going on with the edges of the leaves on the Ohto Ecuador for about half the plant, I'd say. Just all of the leaves ridiculously curled. I mean, I'm still dealing with the aphid war, but I don't think this is aphid war. And then around the edges, everything's all yellowy brown, so I have to look into nutrient deficiencies for sure, find out what's going on here and feed appropriately. But if anybody knows offhand what that is, feel free to let me know in the comments. Save me a bit of searching around and such. Beside it though, the yellow scorpion, I mean, aside from the aphids, we've got a lot of new growth down here in the middle of this plant. Looks fairly healthy. I'm hoping this one will survive. It's a much hotter pepper than I've dealt with so far, but grow it. I want to try it. I'll regret it, I'm sure, but I still want to try it. One new addition to the dungeon setup, I found an old oscillating fan. So normally this is on and going. I just turned it off for the background noise issues. And of course, the hydroponic garden kicked in, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Might as well turn that back on. But I've been advised by a few people that'll help me with my aphid situation, and if nothing else should make the plants a little bit stronger, simulating a wind. The sugar rush is doing alright, I guess. Again, like the yellow scorpion, we've got a lot of new growth down at the bottom. Might be time to snip this down a foot or two. Not quite sure what I'm going to do there. So nice to have the big plants, but I mean, if it's big and dying, what's the point? Definitely got to figure out what's going on with the deficiency in this poor El Oro though. Anywho, while we're under funky purple growing lights, move over here and check out the pepper table, which is kind of becoming an herb garden. Here is the oregano that used to be in the hydroponics. It's very hard moving things from hydroponics and aquaponics into soil. I've discovered that in the past, but this does seem to be surviving so far, so I'm hopeful, because all the other kitchen herbs have responded really well. Kitchen herbs, I guess. I get in so much trouble for that one. The Wartrix pepper is still alive though. The sage is doing amazingly well back there. Devil's heart, and you know, all these peppers still seem to be alive, although struggling. This poor reaper here. Nepalese bell there. Never really known a day without struggle, this poor pepper. And we're back to I just don't know what's going on with the weary. A little bit of new growth on there, but for the most part kind of looks like dead twigs, so not sure how many more weeks that one's going to be with us. Poor little Tabasco pepper back here. Tiny little plant. I mean, it's not putting out big peppers either way, but tiny little plant. There's the catmint back here. It keeps Gordon coming down my stairs. I think the biggest success story this week, though, is probably this poor abused little lemon tree. Lots of new growth coming out on the top there. It's splitting out. So who knows? Might actually live to see some sort of citrus off that one day. I guess that's 2.5 years old. I think I planted that just after we got here. Not one of the ones I brought with us, so going on 2.5 years old. But you know, it's all part of the adventure. Sure hope this comes back to life for me. And I mean, really, that about sums it up for this week. There's not a whole lot to report, not a whole lot to share. Upstairs, the sand dollar is still fighting the good fight. I might remember to include that next week. We'll see. But yeah, until then, I'm just fighting the aphid wars and trying to keep these suckers alive. And of course, dreaming of warm, sunny days and greenhouse projects and things like that. So yeah, until next week, everybody, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week ahead of you, and I will see you then.